Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the 2020 season for the Sony Cup Series. We're here at Phoenix, and we're getting set for an exciting one. This race is going to have a new tire compound than what we're used to seeing in these years. This tire compound will see drivers wear their tires out more so than usual. These tires will come in hand at tracks 2 miles under, so this will be something that we'll keep an eye on for the 2020 season. Strategy should be in play. Coming in this race, Eric DeMax came off winning the Daytona 500, the biggest race of the season. He is the point leader by default after winning that race. He'll start in 9th place today. So his teammate on pole, though, Matthew Rodriguez had a very good top 5 run at Daytona. However, fans, drivers, teams alike, they left Daytona with a bitter taste in their mouth after a race a lot of people probably expected to go differently. I don't think many people expected two cars side-by-side racing to the finish. But that race was a mulligan for many, as about half the field finished that race, and half the field finished in the garage. And many drivers and teams want to get their season on the roll here at Phoenix, and they want to try and score as many points because the championship points are an all-season thing. Last race at Daytona, it counts, and it goes all the way down to Charlotte, which will be the season finale, not Homestead this time. But Phoenix, this track is a little difficult to pass on. The inside is the preferred groove, but I have seen where you can make passes on the high side, so it's a multi-groove track. Tire wear will be a factor in this race. How will strategy come into play? There's many different ways you can go about it. 150 miles, let's see how it goes. As we get set and ready to start this race, how about these guys up at the front? Noah Hart is replacing Caleb Hoffman due to a penalty that he got a race ban. Noah Hart is replacing Caleb Hoffman for this race weekend due to a race ban. Caleb Hoffman is not here at the track. The officials gave him a race ban after his wreck on lap 50 in the Daytona 500. Hoffman is on the sidelines. Jack Halleck for Roush Family Racing. Great qualifying effort today, starting 6th. And Dylan Young, along with many other drivers coming in this race like Don Capps, I believe Kyle Collins, and someone else, all have penalties. Young, 18 points negative coming in this race. He's in a big hole. He needs a good race today. Green flag is out. Down the back straightaway through the dog leg here at Phoenix Raceway. The Yamp cars qualified so well. They practiced well as well. They were so quick at Daytona. How will they fare here at Phoenix? Halleck goes way wide. They're 3 wide further back. Dylan Young to the inside of Jeffrey Lynn. Lynn's going to put Halleck out where he doesn't really want to be. Here comes Eric DeMax, the 500 winner, to the inside of Ryan Griffin. They're 3 wide through the dog leg. This is a sketchy part here at Phoenix. It always has been, and it will prove to be again here at Phoenix. Whoa! Luke Martin goes really wide, got very loose. CM Racing, they qualified very well for this race, and it's good to see them perform as well as they have. They did very well at Daytona, and they're proving their speed wasn't a fluke on the super speedways. They're showing potential pace here. Problems on the track. Joseph Shrigley has been in trouble. It looks like he may have spun around, but it doesn't seem the 63 has any damage, and there is no caution flag. A little further back, Joseph Shrigley, he was running in the 41st place, and he makes contact there slightly with Doug Lockrow. We're going to have to get a better look at that. But yeah, Joseph Shrigley just comes off the corner, gets to the left rear corner panel of Doug Lockrow, and just loses it. And I'm surprised the officials didn't throw a yellow for that. I mean, it is the FBRL we're talking about. I mean, we have a long history about seeing the yellow flags not come out as often when they should. But James Shelley, we're focused in on him. James Shelley in the 71. He had a penalty coming in this race. He started dead last. He's working his way up as much as he can right now. 33rd place, and just up ahead, Ryan Acosta in the 45. Acosta had an engine blow laps before the end of the Daytona 500, like 20 laps prior. And Acosta in the 45, he qualified very poorly. He's also trying to work his way up. He's racing with Jeff James, Kyle Collins, Richard Johnson and them. He's trying to work his way into the top 30. Got a great run on Alexander Rowe. He's for the lead. Dejon Weeks to the inside of Matthew Rodriguez. Gonna try and take the race lead. And Rodriguez is gonna fall back to second place. Dejon Weeks moves up a place. A little further back in the top 10 early on, Ryan Griffin has settled into 7th place. Jordan Davis, the 3-time champion, defending champion for this race. Joseph Shrigley's on pit road again there in the 63. He's having more issues. Jordan Davis there in 8th, like we mentioned. Eric DeMax moving his way up to 9th past Jeffrey Lynn. Jack Halleck trying to get his first ever top 10 run. I don't think Roush Family Racing has ever had a top 10 finish. They're right now in 11th place, and that car is holding in solid right now, but Jake Baskinger in the 97 going to try and get around him for that 11th place. Luke Martin's there in 13th. Fitzwater back there in 14th place. Cody Lamas is settled into the 15th. He's racing with the affiliate team cars, the CM Racing and Kurtis cars. They work very well together, but they are competitors. John Arndt wanting to get by Cody Lamas to move up more places. He's fell down the running order some from where he qualified. DJ Kurtis is there in 17th. Jordan Fisher there in 18th. 19th, Charles Sanford. And James Silverfox moving his way past Aiden Davison for 20th. Jeffrey Lynn working hard on Eric DeMax to try and make this pass. He's losing the nose there on that 76 car. Lynn pushing up the racetrack, going to allow Jake Baskinger to get a great run on him. And this is a move for the 10th place, and Jake Baskinger is going to move up into the top 10. Focused in on James Ellison, making his Sony Cup Series debut this afternoon. Ellison for Red Bull's 3rd car, the 3rd part-time car, running 33rd, getting track time experience right now. Right now, outrunning Dom Capps, a champion of the series. So Ellison getting valuable experience for his debut. 3 wide, further back. This is a race for the 26th position. Looks like James Shelley's going to get the better of it. Squeezing out of the middle of Chris Dodd and Alexander Rowe. Dodd's not wanting to give up. This is a very poor showing, really, for the Allen Family Racing Team cars of Dodd and Acosta. They struggled, and Dodd's getting back at Shelley there. That was pretty good. And he's wheeling it off turn 4, getting loose. But Chris Dodd just not having the speed and the pace in this race like his teammate right now of Ryan Griffin. Further up, Ryan Acosta has worked his way into the top 20 after qualifying poorly. And so that 44 really isn't handling all too well. Griffin is up in the 7th place still. Going to lose that place to Jordan Davis. Davis takes that position away. Dylan Young's the next guy ahead of Jordan Davis. Young sitting there in 6th place. Noah Hart subbing for Caleb Hoffman due to his race ban. And this is a great run for Noah Hart right now to be in 5th. Not a full-time Sony Cup Series driver anymore, but he is a veteran of the series, racing in the Hardee's National Series full-time. That's a great run right now for him to be right there inside the top 5. Right now, none of the leaders have really changed up front. However, Jordan Davis is going to get by his old teammate there. He used to drive that 1 car last year to a championship. Dylan Young now driving the newly numbered 1 car for him in the Hooters Ford. He's going to slide back to position, and Griffin's going to try and follow Davis through. But Young trying to get the power down and stay ahead of the 43, and it looks like he will. DeMax to the high side. I don't think that's going to pay off well. DeMax is trying to get around Griffin. Can he get the run on the high side? Looks like he's alongside of Griffin. That's a great move to the outside by DeMax, but can he make it work? These guys are having to wheel these race cars. You can see them getting loose, and what a move by DeMax if he can make this work around the outside. The inside's been where you want to be, and DeMax just takes the outside of Ryan Griffin, and he's working in that high side. Jeffrey Lynn sees that. He's trying to work the high side too, trying to get a run on Baskinger. But still side by side, some great racing here for the 8th position. And DeMax is not wanting to give up. A great race for him in the Daytona 500 to win that race, and he's coming into his own. DeMax proving that he could be a serious contender for 2020. He is wearing his tires out, though, trying to make this pass. And it didn't really pay off for Eric DeMax. He lost a position to Jake Baskinger, but he tried to make it work, and I think he might have been burning his tires off. So he loses that place, and he slides back to 10th. Jordan Davis has caught and ran down Noah Hart. Looking for this pass, gets really loose, trying to make this, get some grip, but they ran up on Joseph Shrigley. The leader still, it has not changed hands. Schwellenberg getting closer to Rodriguez to be able to make a pass, trying to set him up. But further back, Noah Hart may be in trouble as he's trying to get around Joseph Shrigley. Jordan Davis is all over him. The leaders have ran up on lap car of Zach Rodgers. Whoa, Schwellenberg! Whoa, contact! Rodriguez sideways. Good to hang on to it. That was near disaster for Matthew Rodriguez. Dylan Schwellenberg, Rodriguez, they were racing hard. It seems as though track position is very key in this race, and they were fighting hard to be able to hang on to second. Rodriguez was, and he nearly lost the car. Here's how it happened. Rodriguez was trying to find a way. Schwellenberg dove up the inside, leaving Rodriguez with no other choice but to go to the high side and contact with the right rear of Zach Rodgers. Looks like it's not very much damage there for the 9, but that was near disaster. And further back, Jordan Davis is able to make this move on Noah Hart. They're side by side for the position. Jordan Davis looking to get into the top 5. Noah Hart doing good enough to do what he can do on the high side, but Davis, the defending champion, is going to go right by. Problems for Ryan Griffin. 2 weeks in a row, 2 races in a row to start the season. He's got a mechanical issue. The 43 has to be towed back to the pits, and Griffin was running in the top 10, and this is going to hurt for Ryan Griffin. He left Daytona with only 1 point. He's going to leave this race with only 1 point as well if he can't get back out there. Not sure if it was a mechanical issue or not. It could be a battery. It may be able to be something that can be fixed, but Ryan Griffin came to a halt down in turn 4. With Griffin going out of the race, it actually messed up a few of these guys further back. Fitzwater is looking to get around Luke Martin, who has moved into the top 10 because of this. Fitzwater is going to get into the top 10 to the inside of Luke Martin. Fisher Motorsports is going to get a car in the top 10. Here comes Ryan Acosta, who qualified very poorly. He's aiming at a top 10 run. A great rebound right now for Acosta. He's the inside of Martin, but further up, Lynn's now in the top 10. He's in 9th. Baskinger's in 8th. And Jordan Davis, he's going to get around his teammate of Jesse Turner. Turner trying to fight back. He's still alongside, but Jordan Davis, he's going to get this position as well. He's up to 4th. They fixed the problem. Ryan Griffin's crew was able to identify the problem on that 43 car. Merging. That's a very tough place to be to merge. But Griffin has returned to the race, and he's going to try and get some more points for today. Here's a driver that is probably going to be kicking himself a little bit. Eric DeMax. It seems as though this tire compound isn't working in his favor. Later in a run, he is struggling, and he might have burnt his tires off when he was racing Griffin early on. He is down to 15th, and he is losing time to the guys in front of him, and he's struggling out there. Leaders are on pit road. Dejon Weeks, Dylan Schwellenberg, Jordan Davis, Jesse Turner. A lot of guys are on pit road on lap 40. The next lap later, Matthew Rodriguez is now down pit road. Zachary Fitzwater is going to stay out. A few other drivers like Eric DeMax is going to stay out as well, but the leaders are all coming down pit road. There's been another crash on the back straightaway. Joseph Shrigley. Oh, contact from Alexander Rowe. Another crash up in the wall. And this just is not the race that Shrigley and team were wanting. Shrigley's going to continue to stay out, but he probably couldn't have made it down pit road. But Joseph Shrigley's been in some more trouble, and it has not been the day that race team was hoping for. Here's what happened with Shrigley. Rodriguez merging. Wow. And Noah Hart got a piece of that as well. So contact for Rodriguez, and Noah Hart seemed like he got a pretty good amount of damage. Same with Rowe, but Shrigley getting beat up out there, and you gotta give guys a little bit of space because there's no running room on the bottom there. There's no apron, and it's tough. It's tough around that dog leg, and Shrigley just didn't give him enough room there. That door damage for Matthew Rodriguez looks pretty severe. Rodriguez in the 9, you can see it caved in on the side. Noah Hart further back in the 20 car. Seems like he's got some damage too, but the Rodriguez machine looks like he's got it the worst. and he got doored by a heavy amount there on the side, but Rodriguez is still out there. He's in 4th place. Jordan Davis may be in the catbird seat for this race to get this win. Jordan Davis is running down Dylan Schwellenberg and running down Dejon Weeks. Those are the front 2 in front of Davis, and Davis has been pretty fast. He's been able to get around these guys a lot better than everyone else out there. And Davis in 3rd, looking for a way past his old teammates. Jesse Turner has fell down to 6th. He's trying to size up Noah Hart. Jeffrey Lynn having a pretty good day there in 7th. Dylan Young's back in 8th. Fitzwater's having a good run in 9th. Ryan Acosta from the back of the field. Not entirely the back of the field, but he's came from a far ways back. He's there in 10th. Jake Bassinger's down in 11th. Eric DeMax is settled back in 12th. Luke Martin's 13th, 14th, and 15th. Lamas and Fisher. Then Lamas' teammate DJ Kurtis is 16th. And then further back, Chris Stott, he's got in the top 20, right there in 17th. And then James Shelley working on John Arndt, that's 18th and 19th. And Silver Fox continues to run in the top 20. And Sanford has fell out of the top 20 there. He's racing with Hayden Klein. A pretty good run for it now for Hayden Klein. And a little further back, Jack Halleck's great qualifying effort is really not showing up in the race. He has fell way down the running order. He's in 24th. Richard Johnson, Jeff James, they're not having the days they also would have liked. They're down in 29th and 30th. They're struggling with their race cars. Same with Kyle Collins back here in the 86. His teammate's having a great day right now. But these are the last few cars on the lead lap until we get to the leaders. Dylan Schwellenberg's a little loose, and here comes Davis. He's got a good run on the straightaway. Can he make something happen? Not quite there enough, but he's working on Schwellenberg. He looks better than Schwellenberg. He got loose off turn 2. Nothing there. Dylan Schwellenberg to the inside of his teammate Dejon Weeks. And Dom Capps may play a factor in this as they run up on him to put him 1 lap down. Dylan Schwellenberg to the inside of his teammate. Weeks drives it in deep. Jordan Davis is there too, trying to pick up the scraps if anything is there. And Schwellenberg trying to get in the inside, trying to get the power down. Dejon Weeks took the lead early on and has not relinquished that lead. And he's still side by side with Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg trying to take the lead from his teammate. Davis is there. Look at this 3-car battle as they run up on the lap car of Dom Capps. Weeks, he has to be careful to not do what to not do what Eric DeMax did early on. Burn up your tires running the high side. The high side can be a good groove, but you cannot be out there for too long. You burn your tires off and you'll lose a lot of time. Schwellenberg is making him earn it right now. Weeks powering on the high side. Davis is there too. And it looks like Weeks, Schwellenberg trying to stay in there. Trying to keep the fight alive. Schwellenberg to the inside again. But Weeks looks like he may have it here. Gonna get the run on the high side. I don't believe Schwellenberg's gonna, he's gonna try it again. And Schwellenberg looks like he may be able to slide up in front of Weeks this time. But Weeks is going to continue to race him. More lap cars. You can put Rogers 2 laps down at this rate. Capps to the inside of him. Lap cars could determine who gets the lead. Schwellenberg to the inside of Dom Capps. This could be it for Dejon Weeks to lose the lead. Here comes Schwellenberg. Going to put him 3 wide. And Schwellenberg's got him this time. Dylan Schwellenberg to the lead. And Jordan Davis is going to go into 2nd place. That's a champion move right there by Davis to pick his line. He's trying to race Schwellenberg. Got him a little loose. Here's Weeks there too. Davis tried. He tried to get the inside. He's still trying to get the inside of him. Schwellenberg's got his hands full. With Dom Capps to the outside of him, he wants that groove up there to be able to drive up off the corner. He can't do that when someone's on his outside. But Schwellenberg might be okay here. Capps is relatively up to speed, good enough to hang with these guys, but Schwellenberg keeps the lead. Weeks ran over the golly! Weeks was trying all he could to get that spot back, trying to get a crossover. Davis has a great car. This is a great battle between these 3 drivers. Meanwhile, further back, Zachary Fitzwater has moved his way up to 8th, but more importantly, Eric DeMax has moved his way up to 7th. The loser out of this is Jeffrey Lynn. He has fell down to 10th. Jesse Turner looks like he could be in trouble in the 17. He is losing time. He is really struggling right now. I can't tell if it's because of the tires or if he's got a mechanical issue right now, but he is off the pace. He is losing positions. DeMax has moved up into the 5th place. We have more pit stops. A lot of the guys further back in the field have decided to come down pit road a couple laps prior, and Dylan Schwellenberg, Jordan Davis, Dejon Weeks, they have responded. They are on pit road. Eric DeMax surprisingly continues to stay out. Some drivers are staying out longer than usual, and this is what I was talking about with the strategy. The strategy the tire compounds are creating, drivers are pitting on very different laps. It is now 5 laps prior from when the leader had pitted, and many other drivers. Now DeMax is going to come down pit road. But these guys, a lot of different strategies. These guys are going to have fresher tires. DeMax is going to have fresher tires than what everyone else did, and that could be the benefactor of how the race ends. I'm just noticing one thing, though. Dejon Weeks in the 38, he lost a lot of time on pit road. Look at the leaders. Dylan Schwellenberg, Jordan Davis. They're a ways up in front of the 38, so when this cycles out, Weeks has lost a lot of time to the leaders. Big crash down in turn 3. Richard Johnson's there. Daniel Bouchard, the leader's trying to check up there. Dylan Schwellenberg did a great job to check up, but Dejon Weeks is involved. He has slid down on the inside. Looks like he may be out of it. Many drivers trying to race back. Lap cars, wrecked cars. Everyone on the racetrack. Richard Johnson, the 55, trying to make it to pit road. Well, he's going to race back to the start-finish line. Hayden Klein's all wadded up. A big crash down in turn 3, and it probably happened because of drivers merging onto the racetrack. It's going to start here. Doug Lockrow was leaving pit road. Hayden Klein ran into him. That's a hard hit for Klein and Sanford. Where have I seen that before? Bobby Jones got hit hard. Daniel Bouchard, Vance Caldwell, Richard Johnson tried to check up, but the leader did a great job to slam on the brakes. That was a great job, but further back, the 38, 2 weeks in a row, snake bit halfway in the race. Dejon Weeks was trying to go through the grass to miss all this, but he ends up getting into Bobby Jones just before he was towed away, and that is going to hurt his race car, a beat-up hood. On board with Charles Sanford. On board with the Season 4 champion of Hayden Klein. Look how close Dylan Schwellenberg came to being involved. Woo, that was so close. And for the 2nd week in a row, Ryan Acosta has had an engine let go. So for Griffin and Acosta, this is terrible breaks for them early on in the season. Allen Family Racing Team does not need this. We're going back to the green. Dylan Schwellenberg's the leader. However, we're going to look further back. These guys, from Jordan Davis on back, came down pit road, got tires and gas. So that could be a benefactor, or it could hurt them. That could have been the wrong strategy. We're not sure. We're going to have to wait and see how that all plays out. But further up, the front of the pack has changed hands. It is Schwellenberg and then Eric DeMax. Then 3rd place is Luke Martin. 4th place, oh, Ellison in the 15 got the wall. He's the last of the Red Bulls. He needs to try to stay out there. But looking on the inside, there's Baskinger and Hart doing a great job. They are 4 wide off there. 4 wide off turn 2 down the back. Straight away, Vince Freeze is there. He's a lap car. But, whoa! Fitzwater and Lynn, save it, boys. Lynn roughing up on Fitzwater. They are beating on each other. And off turn 4, they're still wheel to wheel. And Dom Caps leans over on Fitzwater. Fitzwater up in 6th place, trying to get after it, and that is some great racing there. Guys didn't want to back down. Nearly took each other out, though. Jeffrey Lynn in the 76 is down in 7th. Further back, they're still racing hard. James Shelley to the inside. He's going to get past DJ Kurtis. Kurtis is down to 9th again. 10th place, Jordan Fisher holds it in the 2 car. And Halleck, is he a lap down? He's on the lead lap. He is in 11th. Halleck had fell way back early on. And then further back, Jordan Davis, the first of the cars that did take tires. He's trying to get his way back in the top 10. And these two, who race side by side for the win at Daytona for the 500 victory, are 1-2 at Phoenix, and Eric DeMax is the inside of Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg didn't look like he tried too hard to race Eric DeMax. DeMax is trying to race pretty hard. I think Schwellenberg's trying to save his tires a little bit. And Eric DeMax to the inside of the 88, trying to take the lead away. And Eric DeMax will. It should be Eric DeMax off the corner that gets the run, and he will. Eric DeMax to the lead for 3rd place. Jake Baskinger to the inside of Luke Martin. A great run for CM Racing right now to be where they are. But Martin's there down to 4th place. 5th place is Noah Hart. He's been there about all race, really, even with all the mix-up that's been going on. Fitzwater's there 6th. Shelley to the inside of Lynn. Further back, DJ Kurtis still 9th. 10th is Jack Halleck, but not very long, because here comes Jordan Davis in the 99 trying to take that position away, and he will. Davis is back in the top 10. Looking here, Ryan Griffin. That team didn't give up, and there are 22 cars that are on the lead lap. 22 cars that are on the lead lap. And Ryan Griffin getting real racy here with DJ Kurtis, who is in the top 10. Kurtis is in 9th, but Griffin, he is here in 25th place. He's got 2 extra cars in front of him that he can pass to get some more points. So Davis really bodied Kurtis there to get that 9th place. He's trying to get that away. But Griffin, that team is never giving up. They almost fell out of the race due to a mechanical issue, but they have fought back. They are only 1 lap down in 25th and on pace to get some pretty good points for a day that looked like it was going to be very bad. And a little further up, Noah Hart still trying to challenge James Shelley, but Shelley just passed Noah Hart for the 5th place, and Shelley started dead last. Shelley started dead last in this race, and his 2nd race back in the Turner Performance car, in a competitive car. Shelley running really well. This is a great day on a track that's so tough to pass. Shelley is up to 5th place. It's great news right now for Shelley to be this high up, competing with his teammates up here with Jake Baskinger, who's in 3rd. Great run for Shelley. He performed well in Hardy's National Series. It's great to see this kind of performance for him. And one of the dominant cars to start this race at Phoenix. The dominant car also at Daytona. Snake bit just about halfway in the race. Dejon Weeks. He is down in 22nd. Continues to lose time. That car is beat up in the hood, and it's hurting that car dramatically. And he's probably going to lose even more positions in this race. And it's a tough break for Dejon Weeks. Jack Halleck in his quest to get a top 10 in his career. Same with Roush Family Racing. They're in here 10th place right now. They've just worked their way around Jeffrey Lynn. Lynn's been about top 10 all race. He just fell out of it. Needs to try and claw back into it. These guys that pitted early on, they have not seen the same success of moving through the field like Jordan Davis, Dylan Young, Jesse Tunner, Chris Dodd's back here too, and Matthew Rodriguez. They are not coming up through the field as fast as they probably would like, but they are closing in on a top 10 run. They have a little ways to go. Dylan Young working on Jordan Fisher. There's Dodd and Turner racing for position as well. Eric DeMax is really being held up by the lap car. Dejon Weeks, Hayden Klein's there too, but Weeks in the 38. He's holding up Eric DeMax, and here comes Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg to the inside. Going to take the race lead from Eric DeMax. Lap car got in the way of Eric DeMax. DeMax is going to have to get back at him to the inside. Going to follow him through. Jack Halleck has just worked his way by DJ Kurtis. He's up to 9th place, so he has rebounded pretty well after getting some good adjustments there, but he had fell way down the running order early on in the race. After a great qualifying effort, he's back in the top 10. Comes to Max to the inside. That 10 car is really hooked up right now. And DeMax, that is not going to hinder him at all. Schwellenberg needs to get on the wheel, try and keep that 10 car back, because that 10 car is going to be tough to beat later on in this race. He's trying, but Eric DeMax leads at the line, got the nose out ahead, and he looks good. Sails it off into turn 1. Eric DeMax hugging that yellow line, trying to clear Schwellenberg. He will, and Schwellenberg trying to do a crossover back on him. Look at him here in turn 3. A little bit of a bumper tag there. Not enough to upset the 10 car. Schwellenberg back to second. Eric DeMax going to try and extend the gap. And with these guys racing, Jake Baskinger and even Luke Martin, they are closing the gap little by little on the leaders. Further back, though, Zachary Fitzwater has done a great job. He's moving his way up to 6th. Kurtis has moved his way up as well. He's up to 7th place. Jordan Davis is in a wad with these guys, racing them, trying to get up towards the leaders. And these fresher tires, not really what I think Davis and the rest of the crew that did pit were hoping would happen. I think they thought they were going to be able to go through the field a lot better than this, but they're struggling right now. And they're on pit road, actually. Luke Martin's in pits. So Luke Martin is short pitting. He's going to try and go the rest of the race off this one pit stop. He is in the window for the make it the rest of the way. Dylan Schwellenberg's also on pit road now. Here comes Jake Baskinger. James Shelley's coming down. But further up, Eric DeMax, he is staying out. DeMax, the entire race, has stayed out as long as he could. But I don't think that's the right call here. I think he needs to hit pit road soon. But DeMax continues to stay out. So this is interesting strategy by the 10. Fitzwater, who has taken over second, he'll come down pit road. Jordan Davis, he's going to have to pit again because there is no way he'll be able to make it all the way. Jack Halleck also stays out. Eric DeMax has finally pitted, so we're going to be able to see where this cycles everyone out. DeMax may be in trouble here. He's trying to wave Fitzwater by, so that may have cost him a little bit of time as well. The field is about to cycle out now. Eric DeMax is in the lead. Here at Phoenix, Matthew Rodriguez was the last car to pit, and he finally has. So it's Eric DeMax that's out front. Jake Baskinger has moved his way up to second. A great pit stop for Baskinger to leapfrog Schwellenberg, and I think Schwellenberg had a really poor pit stop. And then further back, James Shelley has had some issues there in the 71. He has been beat up in the passenger door there on the right side. So I want to get a view of that. Here's what happened with Shelley. Martin hit him. So Luke Martin, he also looked like he didn't even take that much damage there in the 0. But James Shelley certainly did. But we've seen that happen before. We've seen Noah Hart in the 20 have that kind of issue as well. So maybe it won't hurt Shelley as much. Problems for Johnny Gardner in the 78 car. Gardner was running in the 28th position. A pretty solid day, for all things considering, for the Fitzwater Racing team. And Johnny Gardner in his unsponsored 78 is going to limp back to pit road. They were just shy of about 20 laps to go. As we come to 20 laps to go, we'll run through the lead lap cars. Eric DeMax is in a good position right now. These guys, all of them can make it from here. So this is the race to the finish unless a caution comes out. DeMax is in the lead by a good margin in this race. Jake Baskinger sitting back there in second. Dylan Schwellenberg's in third. Fourth place is Luke Martin. Fifth place, James Shelley. He's dropped back. And then further back in sixth place, Noah Hart. He's further down the order. Jeffrey Lynn in the 76. He's down there seventh, racing with Zachary Fitzwater in eighth. Ninth is DJ Kurtis, or he was. Ninth is Jordan Davis now. 10th is DJ Kurtis. And 11th is Jack Halleck. Halleck trying to get a top 10, but he is just so close, and he's behind Kyle Collins. Needs to get around him. Stuck behind the lap car. And then further back in 12th, Dylan Young. It's safe to assume these guys that did pit under that one caution flag was not really necessary. It was not the best strategy call. Dylan Young suffered, but he's done better than some of these other guys. 13th is Jordan Fisher. 14th is John Arndt. Arndt hasn't really seen the luck and fortune that his other teammate of Luke Martin has had, but he's been in the top 15 majority of the race. Chris Dodd has recovered to be around where he usually is in 15th. And 16th, Cody Lamas racing with Matthew Rodriguez and Jesse Turner. Rodriguez and Turner, strategy did not go their way. Let's just say it that way. 17th and 18th, 19th for James Silverfox, and 20th for Zayden Davidson. And that's the last of the lead lap cars. And how about Ryan Griffin further back? He's in 21st after being very concerned when he broke down on track that he was going to retire from the race with another 1-point finish, but he's going to get some pretty good points today. Schwellenberg was able to get around Jake Baskinger and take second away due to the lap car right there, the 0-8 to Hayden Klein. Klein held up Baskinger enough, and Schwellenberg is back into P2. Jordan Davis underneath of Jeffrey Lynn. That's for the 8th position, and Davis trying to get as much points as possible. Remember, top 10 finishes are very important in the Sony Cup Series. Every position forward or backwards inside the top 10 is 2 points. 2 points per position, so it means a whole lot in the championship fight for a car owner and driver points. And Davis knows that very much. He's a 3-time champion for a reason. To the inside of Zachary Fitzwater, and he's going to get 7th place away. And Jeffrey Lynn on pace right now to get 2 top 10 finishes in a row to start the season. A great run for Lynn right now. And Kurtis trying to hold on to 10th and keep Halleck back. Jake Baskinger back to the inside of Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg and Baskinger, they're losing their chance to grab a victory today. Baskinger goes by. Schwellenberg again going to try and do what he did earlier. Try and do a crossover, but not close enough and not able to make that move. Baskinger's back into second. Cars have gotten in the way here near the end of the race. Jeffrey Lynn held up behind Bradley Bishop Jr. And that's going to allow Jack Halleck to try and get alongside. Halleck trying to take 10th place away. Fitzwater's kind of held up behind Doug Lockrow and Hayden Klein. These guys are all over each other right now. Lynn trying to fight back. Kurtis trying to fight back. This is for more points. Lynn, what a move, Lynn! Whoa! Lynn tried to squeeze up the middle. He nearly cost a wreck. Whoa, what a move that was. And he hurt the most from it too. But Jeffrey Lynn, that just shows his aggression and has never given up attitude. He wasn't going to bow down. But the big winner of that was Jack Halleck, certainly. Halleck, he has moved his way up to 9th place. Kurtis trying to take it back. Kurtis to the inside of Halleck. Wow. Some great and intense racing to the end here at Phoenix. These guys trying to get every position possible. Dylan Young has ran up on these guys now. Maybe he can get a spot in the top 10. But Kurtis to the inside of Halleck. He's going to try and snag 9th back away from Jack Halleck. Jeffrey Lynn darting from behind the 26 of Bradley Bishop Jr. Struggling to get by. Jordan Davis is working on Noah Hart. That's for 6th place. Looks like he might have a chance down in turn 1. And indeed he will. Noah Hart trying to put up a fight, trying to keep that position, but he gets knocked down a place. Davis is back up to 6th. Looking further ahead, Shelley still aiming at Martin. But Martin, for CM Racing, you got to give a lot of kudos to them. Because 2 weeks in a row, Martin is looking like he's going to finish in the top 10. And that's big points. If you can finish in the top 10, that's huge points. Because first place gets 50 points, 10th place gets 30. And that's 20 points is a wide margin. That's about half a race in points. So it's very important to be finishing in the top 10, and they're doing that early on. Baskinger has become to 2 laps to go now. Baskinger holds 2nd over Eric DeMax. Early on in the race, you probably couldn't have predicted that it would have been Eric DeMax, especially when he was fading early in the run. DeMax rode the high side, battling Ryan Griffin early on in the race. He takes the white flag now in the lead. DeMax comes in this race as the point leader, and he's going to leave as the point leader again. Eric DeMax. What a start to the season for this young guy. He's going to join Jackson Braun, Charles Sanford, Dom Capps as the only drivers ever to win Round 1, Round 2. DeMax wins the first 2 races of the season. DeMax wins at Phoenix. Back-to-back wins to start the season. Jackson Braun, Season 1, Daytona and Rockingham. Charles Sanford, Season 9, Daytona and Savannah. Dom Capps, 2018, winning at Daytona, Rockingham, and now 2020, Eric DeMax joins the list of legends. And Eric DeMax winning Daytona and Phoenix is going to leave this race with 100 points on the board, the maximum points you could have at this point in the junction of the season. A great start to the season for Eric DeMax. Some more drivers have had very good starts this season as well. Dylan Schwellenberg third, he P2 Daytona, third here. He could have won here, he could have finished second, but that car just did not seem like it had the right adjustments near the end to be where it mattered. Baskinger's team, great pit stops today. That team got him what he needed, and he finishes P2. Luke Martin and his team, they got to be very proud of where they're heading because they're doing a great job. 4th place, and James Shelley from 42nd. 42nd starting position to 5th place. Give a call to James Shelley. Even with a beat-up car, he finished there. Jordan Davis, he had a car that could have won, but like many, right there at the very end, the pit stops, pitting that one time did not favor him. Noah Hart, Caleb Hoffman will be back in that 20 car, but Hart, again, a great substitute there, substitute drive. He ran into the top 10 all day. 7th place, Zachary Fitzwater, a great rebound to his season to get where he needs to be. 8th place, and Jack Halleck and that team get their first top 10 together. 9th place for the 90 car, and DJ Kurtis gets the top 10. So, that was Phoenix for round 2. Congratulations to Eric DeMax, and it was actually a very fun race here at Phoenix under the lights. Thank you all for watching and joining us. We're going to get you the celebration results, the finishing results, and the point standings after round 2.